reacting to another story that was submitted by you. But this time it's a crazy story. So it's a creepy paranormal story. Someone died in a healthcare. It's actually a client who died in a healthcare because of some paranormal stuff that was going on, explained by this caregiver. So we're going to listen to the whole video, and make sure please you like and subscribe, because the last time, man, I only had 3 likes. I want to have at least 10 likes. All right, let's get it. Thank you.
Be the last home healthcare video that I'll be making. I have to double check my book, but around that time I was always writing things down whenever they happen, but I'll have to double check and let you know. So let's get into it. So around this time I was packing a bag about 3 days, sometimes even 2 weeks, and I'll be going to these clients' houses. I was working for this home healthcare company. And so I packed the bag for the 24th, 25th, and 26th of December, and I was at this woman's house. Now I had already been to her house months before. Like I had been there consistently for months, and nothing ever happened in her house. So here we are. This is a small house. We're up in the living room and we're dancing. She likes to dance, and so we're up there dancing, having a ball. And I noticed a lot of new decoration. I'm like, "Oh, you've been decorating?" She's like, "Yeah, the other girl, whenever she's on shift, she helps me decorate." I'm like, "Cool." The doorbell rings. I go to the doorbell. I said, "Go to the door." I go to the door. I opened the door, and it was my coworker, the woman that she was just talking about, and she brought this chair, and I'm like, "You brought a chair?" She was like, "Yeah, it's adding to our decoration. This is something that we like doing together." I'm like, "Okay, cool, that was sweet." So she brings the chair in. When she brought the chair in, she set it all the way at the end of the hall, and it had this painting that was over it. So I'm like, "Okay, that's sweet." So we continue our stuff. The lady leaves. We continue dancing, and then the woman wants to get in bed. So I put her in bed. Fast forward to after I put her in bed, I put the motion sensors down just in case she gets up. So the motion sensors started going crazy, and I looked at the camera, and she's laying in bed. She's knocked out. So finally I stand up, and when I stand up to go check and peek my head around the corner, there's this dark figure sitting in the chair that my coworker had just brought into the house. Can't make out if it's a man or a woman just yet, but it was a very dark figure, and I heard stomping, but it didn't sound like feet. And then I look over, and it has like this cane in its hand, just stomping it on the ground, on the floor. So finally I get up, I run over to my duffel bag, and I get my Bible out, and I get to praying, and it's just sitting there looking at me like, and I said, "So you just not gonna go? Like, you just not gonna leave?" So then once I started to get aggravated, and I started to really be really forceful with the words from the Bible, that's when it stood up and it walked into the bathroom, and then it walked back out. But when it walked back out the bathroom, it did this high jump in the air. Like, okay, what was that about? After it did that little high jump, that weird thing, it disappeared from in front of me, but I heard the motion sensor. So I walked over to the camera, and when I walked up to the camera, I see his face. Yes, it was a he in the camera, and he's pointing at my client. So of course I'm aggravated. I go back there and I flick the lights on. I didn't care if she was asleep. I was just worried, because I know you ain't here for her. Not right now. Not right now. So then fast forward, I played it off to the woman like, "Oh, do you have to use the bathroom? I'm so sorry that I flicked the light on like that." And so she's like, "Oh, no, I'm okay." So she lays back down. Once I go back out to the living room, I get to praying. I get to drawing crosses over all the doors, over all the windows. But next thing you know, I feel something walk behind me. And when I felt it, I turned around, and he's right here in my face, like right here in my face. I almost dropped to the floor, y'all, but I couldn't do it, because then he'd be thinking that he had one up on me. So that entire night, he would just randomly pop up in my face. He would randomly pop up on the sofa, or he would be sitting in that chair that my coworker brought. Now, this is the scariest part. The scariest part is the fact that right after...
So all this time you were not scared? A dark shadow in the house with you. Didn't call the police. You didn't call... I know you had a Bible, but...
he left up out of my client's room, I could hear her gasping for air like she needed me. And so I ran in there, and I sat her up on the edge of the bed, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she said that she said, "I'm not ready to go yet. I'm not ready to go." Now, all this time, she's never talked like this. And so I'm just like, "You ain't got to go yet if you don't want to." I think what made me more nervous about it is the fact that it was a dark figure that came to collect her. At that point, I was just like, do you want to pray with me? We had never prayed together before, but in that moment, she wanted to pray, so we prayed, right? Oof. So fast forward to while we're praying, he just sat down. Like, I wait.
What?
So I think that scared me too, because what has this woman done in her life that is so terrible to have a dark figure come to collect her and take her somewhere, and not even a prayer can stop it? Can stop her from going with him. Now, here's the even scarier part.
We have levels of...
I got a feeling to look outside. So I went ahead and I looked out the window. And when I looked out the window, there were 2 other dark figures standing on the sidewalk.
2 more. I'm done.
That scared the crap out of me.
You didn't call anybody? Like, you might be strong.
I know y'all better just be here for her. So I hear knocking on the door. Of course, I'm not answering, because I just looked out the window. I saw y'all out there. I'm not opening the door. And so the woman, she starts getting hysterical, and she is like really going crazy. I'd never seen her like this before. And so do y'all know, like, probably not even 24 hours after I left, that woman passed away.
Oh.
She passed away, and in my head, I felt so bad, but in my head, I was thinking like, oh my God, this family gonna think I'm the Grim Reaper.
Make sure you go and follow her. So they submitted this story. Apparently this story is from, I don't know if it's true or not, or just because this is going on, but it's a story from Minnesota. Apparently there is a caregiver plays Somalian caregiver. The way they framed it was so funny, but that's what the title will be. So it's a Somalian daycare or creepy paranormal Somalian daycare death. I don't know how I'll phrase it, but man, this is crazy. This is not great. It's not a great story. I don't know, but according to the story, that this lady, she's kind of like, oh man, I know I have a Bible, but I'm telling you, this lady must be strong spiritually, mentally, and physically, because I personally couldn't do this. I would maybe pray or call the landlord or call my managers. Hey, there is something going on here, or record it or something, because it was also recorded on the camera, so which means they can also see it. So things in that nature, and it's spiritual stuff, so it's hard to explain it to other people as well. That was the most creepiest story, and especially she experienced it. So my take on it, yeah, I mean, she uses the most craziest, strongest weapon. She had a Bible with her. I think that's what gave her that courage to even not running away or calling nobody. I mean, it's just the Bible. What do you expect? I mean, she got the strongest weapon in the world. So, and it was a little scary that the shadow didn't move. Maybe the guy or the lady did something in her past. Maybe she was a Freemason or something. I don't know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for submitting this story. This is the second story of this month, scariest story of this month, submitted by you guys. So I'm waiting for 8 more. I have 3 that I need to react to, but just keep on submitting. Reach out to me on my Instagram. It's Eloheise Network. It's still the same thing, and that would be good. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I want to have at least 10 likes or 5 likes, something like that. Okay, can you do that to me? Thank you. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Let's go.